Welcome everyone to the weekly Runway Community live stream. My name's Timmy. I'm the community manager here at Runway, and it's my job to make sure we have a fun, safe, amazing place to connect, to share, and to collaborate as we all explore these tools and create amazing art, right? That's what it's all about. Today, we're going to be jumping into a live demo showing you how to farm for some styles for your frames style preset library. This is a lot of fun, and I think when it comes down to creators in this space, creators in our community, I think there's a good mixture of folks that really want to tell a story and to express something, but also a good mixture of folks that are just really exploring their curiosity, exploring these tools, finding the boundaries, and really kind of just being pioneers in this new creative landscape that we all get to explore together. So it's really, really fun, and I think this leans into the exploration, the curiosity vibes that we all kind of have. But before we jump into that, let me go ahead and swap over to the main stage here. We do want to mention also that Gen 48 is about to happen. If you don't know, it's happening soon on April the 26th through April the 28th of this month. That's going to be a Saturday. And we definitely want to get you guys in and registered and ready for the action. I think this is going to be a very, very special event. 48 hours of just pure, just concentrated creative energy, collaboration, and just excitement. So if you haven't already checked it out, check out the link provided in the audience chat from David and Rich, and you can check out all the announcements and all of the help articles there as well in those channels. Thanks so much, y'all. Hey, Tahir, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the main focus of today's demo, and that is going to be, of course, frame farming. So this is going to be a little bit different than what we have done in the past. It's going to be a much more chill and unplanned demo as far as things that have already been generated. So far, I have not generated anything at all. So we're going to completely start from scratch together with you all in the audience. So I need your participation. I need your suggestions. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to come up with a very, very simple prompt. I, for some reason, tend to use myself as a good reference. So I'm just going to type in a bald man with a red beard wearing round frame glasses. All right. We're going to go ahead and generate just 4 images with that one prompt. Very, very simple. You'll notice that I did not select any style presets at all. And you'll also notice that my aesthetic range is set default. So it's just going to be set to 2. This will adhere very closely to what we're asking for with our prompt, but it'll give us a nice little bit of variety for different scenes and different environments and different kinds of characters. So can we try, if I send you the image prompt, I'm not going to be taking a complete image and prompt for the live demo, but I will say that anytime that you need assistance with that at all, you can drop it in the community help channel. You can ping myself or any of the moderators. That's kind of what we do, is try our best to provide creative support for whoever needs it. So if you're running into an issue with an image or a prompt, you need help kind of refining that a bit, that's what we're here for. And I would love to help you with it off the stream. But for right now, we're going to kind of focus on the frame farming aspect, right? So here we have 4 different images. I like all 4 of them. They're all great. I really sort of like this one the best, though, because it's very front facing. We see the full profile of the character and the background is not too distracting. So what we're going to do is we are going to now drag this image over into our image prompt. So when you do this, the frames will analyze your image and create a prompt that will best describe the image that you dragged in. And the reason that we're doing this is because it's going to automatically create a nice little structure for us that we will then be able to build off of. So let's take a look and see what we have here. Subject, a Caucasian man in his early 30s with a vibrant ginger beard and closely cropped hair gazes directly at the camera. He wears tortoiseshell framed glasses that complement his bright blue eyes and a dark casual jacket. Scene, a minimalist gray concrete or stone wall serves as the backdrop, creating a neutral, textured surface that spans the entire background. The lighting appears natural and diffuse, casting subtle shadows. All right, so we have a third section here, and this is our style section. Obviously, it's going to try to give us a style that will reproduce our input image as closely as possible. But we're kind of here to farm for styles, so we don't really need that. So what we're going to do is completely remove our style. And now we essentially have our character and our environment kind of locked in with our subject and scene prompt. But now we want to explore some styles, right? So in order to do that, we're going to be very, very simple with what we're asking for. So for instance, before we even dive in, you might want to take a look at my preset here. And as you can see, I really do like to use myself as a reference when I'm exploring these. But you will be able to start to dive in and kind of get subcategories of different styles that will really help you build a robust library and even help you kind of carve out your own unique style. So what we'll do here is, you can see I have several that I've done. A lot of these are cartoon. I'm a big animated cartoon person. So let's farm for some cartoon styles, right? So I'm going to just leave my prompt exactly the same, and I'm going to add cartoon as my style. So very, very broad, very, very basic. We're not asking for a hand-drawn cartoon. We're not asking for digital art. It could be any of those things. But we're really looking for some unique styles that really helps us kind of find our own identity, right? So what we're going to do next is go down our aesthetic range, and I want to raise it up to 4. So this is going to give us a much larger variety of styles and really kind of help us cover more creative landscape as we're exploring cartoon, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and raise it to 4. I'm gonna keep this style cartoon. I'm gonna keep the prompt. The rest of it's the same, and I'm just gonna generate a few times, right? Let those generate, and let's also do 3D animated, right? We're gonna keep 3D animated. We're gonna leave the aesthetic range to 4, and let's go also. Let's see, maybe classic film, right? And so the idea here is to really kind of use a very broad prompting technique for your style, just very, very basic, and then use that aesthetic range variety to really farm for a lot of different unique subcategories of that broader style, right? So let's go ahead and scroll on up and start to see exactly what we're beginning to get. And just before we dive in, we want to remember this is the image here that we started with, right? So we'll go ahead and start diving down. And as you can see right away, from just cartoon style, from the very first batch, with the aesthetic range set to 4, we have such a gigantic range of styles already, right? So we go through here, we can see, are there any styles that really, really like stand out to us? I personally am a huge fan of these kind of like bowed lines that are not super perfect, and these interesting textures, right? It's almost comic book aesthetic and cartoon kind of mixed. I really, really love that. I love this style here. And you can see there's just such a huge variety of styles. We asked for cartoon, and now we have just a huge, gigantic variety of styles. And the really interesting and beautiful thing about frame farming here with your session is, you know, we talked about how fun and exciting it can be for a lot of us to just explore, right? And be creative and kind of just scratch that curiosity and see what the model can do. But this is really a process that's going to be looking out for your future self, because once you find a style that you really enjoy, like this kind of almost hand-drawn 90s aesthetic, you can actually drag this over into your style preset library, and it will analyze your image, and it will create a new style preset with that exact cartoon style in mind, right? So now you're starting to build out unique branches of animated styles that you can dip into anytime, right? And we'll go ahead and scroll on down, and we'll start to look at our 3D animated styles. Again, we have these very, very nice, like, in between photorealistic and cartoon, but then we also have very, very nice, like, low poly sculpted style that's just really beautiful. It can go with a really nice family animated film, right? So this is a really, really great way to explore the model and like kind of experiment with different image styles while also building up your library, right? So you can dip into it later, you can use it for future projects. So let's see. See if there's any comments in the chat. I'm not seeing anything that we need to address just yet. Looks like David's got it handled. And while we're looking through these, if anybody wants to drop a simple prompt or a style that you want to explore, let me know. We'll dive into these and start taking a look around and see what kind of results we have. But I really wanted to just show you how impactful it is to kind of just spend some time being curious and really exploring and kind of building that framework of what's possible with the model and really just going from there, right? So we'll go ahead and drag this one over here. I really like that a lot. And we can go ahead and explore even more. Extreme low poly here, right? I really love the really natural feeling of exploration that this brings to the table. And again, this is something that you're building for your future self, for future projects, right? You're not only building it to have that style on hand, but to potentially build out your own unique style that represents you in a way that other styles maybe you can't even prompt for it, right? You're searching for styles that you can see that maybe you don't know the exact terminology that you need to call for that style with prompting. But with this, it's kind of, you're building it in to your prompt library. Claymation, I love it. Perfect. I see Rich Clay, Rich Clay. Anybody else? If anybody else has any suggestions, we'll go ahead and pop them in here as well, and we'll do a little bit of exploration for some different styles as well, for sure. I love the claymation, really great. Let's do crafted as well. I'm just going to do crafted. I think crafted could be great for stop motion and just like, different textures, right? But yeah, we're going to go ahead and look through a few of these others. This classic film is pretty nice. I think I also want to try Western and just see what type of results we get and kind of explore through here. I think it's also really great to highlight here that using this method, I see a lot of folks that are very, very excited about reference. We are so excited to get it to you all as soon as possible. But I think one of the really incredible things that you can learn from this process is, if you have an image that you really like, which all the way up here, you have this image that you really like, and you really like this character, and you want to kind of try to reproduce it, you can drag your image over, get your subject, get your scene, and then come down and, you can tell that once you've locked your style preset in, you are going to be able to pretty reliably regenerate the same character, right? So it's really, really important to understand the power of and the value of using this description tool with frames in Runway. I use it constantly. It not only helps me explore and kind of understand the model's vision, but it just really helps me build my vocabulary. It helps me build my framework of how the model sees things. And it really feels like it closes the gap in understanding for myself and the model, right? Let's see. The same style for multiple scenes. Yes, 100%. Georgie says, yes, I understand. I was thinking maybe using the specific styles in your video prompt would also help with locking down the same style for multiple scenes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very good call. Just want to highlight that if you are using very abstract styles, especially animated styles, if you find yourself having trouble with maybe the style going away from the initial desired look, you can come in and drag your input image into the describe, get the style description, and then you can tack that style description to the end of your video generation, and that will help reinforce that style. So really, really great point, Georgie. Very, very smart. And I think it's just, understanding how each tool works, how they all fit into your workflow, and being able to understand when to lean on one or the other is very, very powerful. And Georgie's doing a great job of kind of just showing that there, right? All right, so let's go on down here, and it looks like I accidentally selected our minimal style there, so we got some of the minimal results down here, but I think this is actually all of our 3D animated results. Let me see here. So this is crafted. Should do. Oh, this is the claymation. Okay, so here's some claymation ones. Oh yeah, I like the texture. That looks very, very practical. Like physically, you can touch the texture. Let's see here. So it looks like crafted is really interesting. You get some very, very hyper stylized realism, and then some very, very digital art esque style. Let's do handcrafted. And let's do and I think another really cool thing is that you can actually even explore further. So we have this awesome style here. It's called minimal. I'm just going to type in minimal into my style prompt here, and let's just explore more variety of that minimal style. I really love it. I think voxel is also very cool, and there's actually a wide variety of voxel styles that people don't even realize. So really, really fun way to kind of explore here. Let's see. Let's see. Heading on down, tons of variety. I love this style here. It's this like digital art, like mixed genre, mixed media style. Amazing. All right. Let's keep going. Ah, I love it. I love the feeling of discovery with this method. All right. Ooh, okay. So this is handcrafted. These are handcrafted styles. Oh, I love this. I have to add this. I want to use this again, right? That's the feeling, right? Um, Dante, it was so great to see you. Thanks for hopping by and hanging out with us. Hopefully, we see you on the next stream on Friday. And if you want to check out the rest of this stream, it will be available for you in the past live stream channel after the broadcast ends. All right, all right. Already shouting it out, David. Thank you so much. All right, so now we have a new oil paint preset that we can use. Oh my goodness. I love it so much. All right, I'm using it. And you can see by like kind of raising that aesthetic range, you can really, really just find so many surprising styles that you would have never been able to create on your own. Or if you wanted to, it may take a little bit of time to kind of just refine that prompting, right? So really, really fun. If anyone else has any styles they'd like for me to explore, go ahead and drop them in the audience chat. If not, we'll go ahead and check out the rest of these, and then we will move on into the next section here. Love this one as well. Just beautiful. Different kind of oil paint, but slightly different than what we have prior. And here we go. Oh, down to the voxel. Now we have made it down to our voxel. Or is this minimal? Yeah, okay. This is voxel. So yeah, again, voxel is one of those styles that you think, well, every voxel piece is most likely going to look the same, but no, it's surprising the range of variety that you can actually find within a style. And I think again, that's really, really what's important here is being able to carve out your own unique look, right? This gives you the ability to, if you are in a community where folks are generating voxel art, you're going to be able to stand out, right? Because you're going to be able to really, really carve out your own unique voxel look with this method. So hopefully you all really enjoy it. Hopefully it was helpful here. And I love this one. Oh my goodness. Just so much fun. So much fun. And again, you can save any of these discovered styles over into your library that you'll be able to use moving forward. So make sure you, if you are using these, share your work in the Discord, share your work over on Reddit, share it wherever you want. Make sure you tag me and let me know that you're using our style preset farming technique, and I would love to see what you're creating. But I think if we don't have any more suggestions, that is going to be it for today's live stream. Hopefully you all enjoyed it as much as I did. I think frame farming is really one of those slept on techniques that folks are really going to start benefit from and start using more and more as we move forward and building our style preset library up and just being able to use it for future projects. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You all have been amazing, and I will see you on next Friday. Oh, wait, before we go, hold on. I almost forgot. At the end of every single stream, we have a stream question for those of you who have been paying close attention. So, for a chance to win 1,000 credits hand-delivered from me to you via Discord DMs, make sure you put your thinking cap on and your hands on the keyboard, because I'm about to ask a question about something that was revealed during this stream, and the first one to answer it correctly in the audience chat will receive the prize credits. So get ready, here it comes. The question this week is on what day does the 48-hour film competition Gen 48 begin? On what day does the Gen 48-hour film competition go? All right, I see some guesses. All right. And it looks like, and I'm going to have to go with the date just because it's a different day for different people depending on where they are. But it is going to be April 26th. Congratulations and shout out to Georgie for coming through with that correct answer. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You all have been amazing. I have been Timmy, and I will see you all on the next stream. Bye.